Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for my very first Plan With Me video. So I'll be planning in my Hobonichi weeks for the week of November 18th to the 24th. So just a couple of disclaimers before I start. The way that I hold my pen looks extremely uncomfortable, especially from the camera view, that kind of bird's eye view. The first time I practiced and saw the video clip, I was alarmed. It looks like I'm just holding it in a really tight fist, which I mean essentially is not too far off what I'm doing. I can write correctly, but it just takes me a lot longer and I don't like my handwriting as much. So I figured I would just say that at the beginning here because it does look extremely uncomfortable, but I promise you it isn't. The other thing is that I tend to try and get really close to the paper when I'm writing, which is also not something that I realized before trying to film a Plan With Me video. So if you see any frizzy or curly hairs popping in and out. If you've seen my flip through of my Hobonichi weeks for this year, 2019, you'll see that it's kind of gone through a lot of different functions for me this year, or a few different ones anyways. And I'm using it now as a memory keeper. Some weeks I do zero prep, some weeks I use a sticker kit, and most weeks are what you're going to see me doing here today, a combination of washi, stickers, some mild liners, and just making it work. Sometimes I lay washi down. I'm going to this week because I still have this roll of super cute fox washi that I got from Fairy Milk Bar on Etsy, and I just think it's so cute for fall. I did use my Posca paint pen, the white one here, just to lightly go over the writing at the bottom. I don't always do that, and you can see it's not by any means opaque. I could have used whiteout, but if the washi tape that I'm using has a transparent or mostly transparent background, sometimes I like to do that because I just like the way that it makes the washi shine a little more than the writing underneath. So I'm just doing my best to line it up here so that the fox is in the middle. I'm not really committed to using any certain style of washi or anything. I just like to choose something that either suits my mood or the time of year. I do washi on both sides, but I usually leave the calendar uncovered. It's not like I refer to it all that often, but I don't know. It feels like I like having the option to. I'm still getting the hang of using cards to cut my washi. I've watched so many videos where people make it look incredibly easy, and from my experience, it is not. I've got a lot of ripped edges throughout my journals, but that's okay. Usually the next thing that I'll do is I like to use my mild liners to highlight the days. And that's mostly because I like having some sort of visual separation between the week and the weekend. So if I have washi at the bottom, I'll usually just use a couple of colors that I think go nicely with it. And I use the Post-it note here just to get the clean edges. I think I saw this tip on one of the Facebook Hobonichi groups, and I like it because it doesn't have the mild liner kind of pool. So I just gently peel it up there. And then I'll do the different color for the weekend. And I'll just save this Post-it for as long as it's sticky enough to give me that straight edge. Sometimes I'll put thin washi tape here or a sticker if it comes with a kit, and sometimes I'll just do mild liner. Again, I like having that, just that visual demarcation there. Well, I'm pretty basic with my planning because this is mostly a memory keeper. I do put in appointments or events or birthdays that I know ahead of time, and I keep track of what I'm reading, what I'm listening to, and lately I've been putting a quote here. So I think what I'll do first is I'll start with my reading and listening to. I have this set of the headphone emojis from the Coffee Monsters Co. and I love these. So I'm gonna choose a blue one. Just stick it in the middle of this square here. And because reading is my favorite hobby, in addition to journaling and planning, I have a lot of reading stickers, and so this sheet is one of my favorites. It's from Once More with Love, and I love these Get Lit stickers. So I think I'll choose this one here. Again, I like how it kind of goes with the color scheme, and put it right in this center-ish part of this box there. In terms of quotes, I mean, it's usually just something that I've seen come up during the week, and then I'll usually just take a screenshot of it if it's online or write it down. Today I had to write it down on a piece of paper because I'm using my phone to film. So this is from an Instagram account that I follow called Mellow Doodles, and she posts a lot about mental health. And I love her account and I absolutely love her style. I'm actually going to try my best to recreate what she's done, just because printing a little photo of it wouldn't do it justice. And I also usually feel as though writing it out by hand just helps, I don't know, it helps cement it for me and it helps me feel more connected to it. So she's got, yeah, like I said, she has a really cute style, and she usually has her work in bright and happy colors. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna try, I don't always do this, but I'm gonna try and lay down, just smudging it so it doesn't have that big bubble at the end. I'm gonna try and put down my colors first because I'm going to use the pen over them and I just don't want any smudging. The only thing that's hard about this is I'm not great at guessing how much space I'm going to need to write in here. So it's all just, it's a guess. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I really like the mild liners on the Tomoe River paper. I like how mild they are. I think they're beautiful, especially when I want something a little bit more muted. I'm just using this side here for, I guess, the marker side here to color in these squares. And I'm using the highlighter sign to lay down where I'm going to write. So this post specifically is about self-kindness. I'm just going to work on this and put some music on while I do so that it's not endless and boring for you guys. So there you have my quote for this week by Mellow Doodles. Self-kindness can look like deleting an app, muting a group chat, saying no to another commitment, cutting down your to-do list, limiting your consumption of bad news, and spending less time in toxic environments. And again, I took her style, her doodles, everything. Hers is amazing. I hope to get some of her prints one day, and I'll flash an image up on the screen as well. So laying down the mild liners first worked well in terms of smearing, but it did make the pen I was using come out a little bit thicker. You can see the difference just with it on right on the paper and on top of the mild liner, which was fine. It's still a fine enough pen. I used this one here, the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen, and then just for the outlining, I used the Micron 005 because I hoped it would be just a little thinner than the writing, and I think it was. Beyond that, I just have to put in the appointments, and there's some birthdays in my family this week. So I've mentioned that I'm a supply teacher before, so that means I don't have a work schedule that I need to put in, and I also don't have any sort of intensive daily schedule because everything for me changes on a day-to-day basis, and when I'm teaching, I don't have any time to schedule ahead of time. I get the call the night before, the morning of, I go in and I follow the plans that are there. So none of that really needs to go into my planner, although I do track after the fact if I do get a call what school it was at, what grade it was for, because I do like to have that for my records. Whenever I do use a sticker kit, I don't think I've ever used every sticker in it, so I just keep all of the extras, obviously. And these are a couple of kits from Starfish and Frog that I pulled out because I think the colors all kind of go nicely with the colors I have down so far. So I think I'm going to use these ones here for the birthdays I have. I'm going to use this one again. And I've got my grandma is on the 20th and my grandpa is on the 24th. I think I could have gone with a thicker pen here, but that's all right. So I'm going to put that one up here. I always like to put any sort of birthday or event or appointment in the first part of the week because it just helps me to, that's where I know to look at this point for anything that I kind of need to remember. So we've got here, I got these from sugarloop.com. These were actually the first stickers that I ever bought as part of my planner journey. And the stickers I have now, I do plan to show a video with just how I store them, but I have quite the collection. I think they're so much fun. I also have a couple of appointments this week, so I think I'll use, I've got the flags and the dots here. I don't want to use any more boxes because I feel like I want those to stand out. So I think that I'll use the dots. So I have, you know what, I'm not going to use this brown dot. I'm going to use this one. I have an appointment on the 21st and one on the 22nd. Typically when I'm planning, I do like to use the Uniball Jetstream, either the Hobonichi one or I've bought some of the slim versions from Tokyo Pen Shop. My appointments I mark in red, again, just so that they stand out. So I have one on Thursday at 10, and I think my Friday one is also at 10, actually. As for what I'm reading and listening to, I just fill that in as the week goes on. I'm not actually in the middle of any books right now, so hopefully I'll be starting something new soon. And listening to, I'll put down artists that I'm especially loving or any podcasts that I'm enjoying. So lately I've been listening to just a lot of the Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard and the Good Place podcast, which I absolutely love. But I'm thinking for the Good Place podcast, I'm going on vacation at the end of November. So I'm thinking I might stop listening to those right now so I can download them and have them for those travel days. But we'll see if I can hold off for that long. So I'm happy with how this week turned out. I really love this quote. I love having it here as a reminder. I have the things I need to remember, and then I'll just fill this in with things that happen on that day. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.